I got it via email.
Yeah, okay, that we approved. And they just reviewed some of the items such as, you know, I think I mentioned this before, they had a clean audit and, excuse me, things that they're continuing with, like dealing with the emergency aid that they administer for the non-public schools for the board, for the commission. The next board meeting is this Wednesday, which I will attend. Also, we had, after the meeting, not right after the meeting, the Monday after that meeting, we had the first negotiations meeting. I'm on the negotiations team. And all that we did was establish a schedule of our meetings. So we meet again on, I can't remember, the 21st or the 22nd of February. I can't remember. Policy, you obviously saw a lot of policies and regulations listed in the agenda. The one that had the, you know, that got redlined, 9420, I don't know if anybody had any comments. I didn't get any. I don't think the committee got any. No, okay. So we just requested to follow rule and we approve them. And with this, I'm going to turn over the baton to Melissa, who will be picking it up at the next meeting. My last minutes report. Okay.
Don't be too excited there.
Exactly.
There's a little glee there.
Next, the governance committee. There was a lot of discussion at the last governance committee meeting. And hopefully I did it correctly and you all got a sample of a first attempt at a standardized report for the agenda publication and the minutes publication. If you could look at it, if you could give it a try, see how it works, all comments. The goal is we make it standardized, it'll just be easier for us all. And just to get some structure to it. Don't forget in there, like you have to identify the strategic goal that your committee's goals are directly related to. One thing that came up was that a couple of committees had somewhat of an irregular pattern, and now you have to look at it that at minimum of once a quarter a committee should meet. And even if you're doing a regular monthly meeting and you want to skip, at least for that month say, we did not meet because all activities are going along as progressed or stated that there's nothing to do, just to let everybody know that you're keeping on top of what your committee is doing. Well, the other big thing, I guess, okay, what was I trying? Oh, the scheduling of the meetings and publication of the minutes or the agenda and the minutes. Hopefully all the committees have met at least once and determined a schedule for the year. And you can try as hard as you can to stay to that schedule, but obviously life happens and it could change. Excuse me. The thing comes up associated with the agenda and the minutes. The agendas should come out somewhere between 5 to 7 days before your meeting, so that other members of the board can, look at it and be there to ask questions or ask for understanding what's going on. And your minutes should come out shortly there after your meeting. Again, another 5 to 7 days after that, and you just, get it going. And of course, the key thing is the superintendent search. We actually completed our round 1, and completed it on Friday. And the committee met yesterday, virtually, and we determined those of the pool that we're going to carry on with their application, and those whose application wasn't going further. I personally spoke with each one of them already, and they've been notified. If scheduling works, we will be conducting round 2 the week of February 22nd, I guess it is, right? The 22nd.
No.
The 29th, I think.
The 29th.
I'm sorry, 29th. I apologize.
There's no 28th.
The 28th.
27th.
The 28th.
27th.
It's a leap year, no.
The 27th, from the 27th. And that's, well, after the round 2, then we obviously will meet and discuss and see who goes on to round 3. And about it.
Any questions for Karen?
Karen, I apologize to you, the board. I owe a agenda for tomorrow's community relations, so I apologize to everyone. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week.
And I apologize, there's one other thing. We were very fortunate in the pool of applicants that we got. And I think it was Katie who coined the phrase, an embarrassment of riches, so to speak. And several of the candidates that we interviewed mentioned there were two themes that came through. Number one is the spirit and the involvement that they got. Some actually visited the community. They got from just seeing and observing, and what they could tell on the website about, all the activities that are going on. And they love to see the parent involvement, and they could tell, that the staff was there. And they actually said in the community in general, they liked the feel. I mean, one of them even goes to one of our nail salons. But it was a theme. I mean, people mentioned it. The other one was, very honestly, and I don't know how best to put it. I guess I'm going to call it the ethical and respectful way that the board conducts itself, and that the support that we have for the students and the staff is quite visible, and they wanted to become a part of it. Those were two things, and maybe other members of the committee could, say something about them, but that was very important. I want to thank the community, the whole community, for it. I want to thank the board because it did make our job easy on one side and hard on the other, because it was hard making decisions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Anne?
So the Student Achievement Curriculum Committee met on January 25th. Dr. Rovtar, Dr. Jones, the committee, and Mr. Rideout were present. Mr. Rideout took time out of his day to share with us some of the research that he's conducting in his doctorate studies, and specifically some recommendations he thought would be useful for us as a board to consider, mainly along the themes of the way in which we advertise and open up our programs to people in our community, to make sure that those who may be struggling, possibly for financial reasons, are aware, like when we're running an extra after-school program, that if it is a free program that's being offered to students, to communicate that. That often sometimes people won't necessarily ask, is this a free service? There could be an embarrassment related to that question. And other such similar suggestions that I think regarding, and some of the practices we already do, translation of materials that are sent, particularly for those enrichment activities, to make sure that if we're working with students, with different language speaking at home, and so on. So it was very informative, and also just really, I think, wonderful for Mr. Rideout to take the time to speak with us about the work that he's doing in his studies. We spoke about the curriculum development process, and Dr. Rovtar had shared that document with the board, because one of our goals for the board is to deepen our understanding of curriculum and curriculum development. We had an update regarding the Gifted and Talented Consortium. So at Central, they're participating, or they recently just did, in the Junior Model UN, and they were able to go in person this year instead of virtual. And they had 4 delegations attending, which was double of what we had last year, which is nice. And Gillette and Millington are working on a virtual STEAM challenge. We had the analysis of the Summer Institute and Start Strong data, and a discussion of those after-school enrichment classes that we're running. Just how do we know as a district that the interventions we're putting in place are effective for the students and are targeting the skills that are needed. And then there was a discussion of formation of new district rubrics to go along with the standards-based report cards that have been rolled out in the younger grades. So the thought was it would be useful for the rubrics to be updated to reflect some of those changes in the reporting. And then for the PTO, I have to just switch screens. The visiting author, Victoria Jameson, came to Gillette School, and we'll be visiting Millington School tomorrow. No, And this was sent today, so we're good. Millington Family Fun Night is on Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. And the PTO has invited Holly Rock Entertainment to MC a fun game show event with lots of audience participation. That makes me miss my time at Millington. The February PTO general meeting will follow Family Fun Night at 7:30 in the Media Center. The Harlem Wizards are visiting all 3 schools on February 15th for a short assembly to get everyone pumped about the Harlem Wizards versus the Long Hill Masterminds, which is March 6th at Watchung Hills Regional High School, and a favorite event of mine. So I'm looking forward to that. The tickets for the game are on sale now. You can visit harlemwizards.com and look for the event, which is held in Warren, New Jersey. You have to look because it's at the high school. Parents and guardians are asked to log on to their Long Hill Genesis parent portal to answer the pop-up question granting permission for the district to share contact information with the PTO. You answer yes or no. I think they just would like the information from you. And the information is used for an online directory of the membership toolkit, formerly what we used to call the Buzz Book, which was a paper book. Access to the online directory is restricted to members only and not available to the general public. And that was the end of the PTO update.
Any questions for Ann?
I gotta find out if you're not a parent of somebody in school,
Yes.
how I can get access to
Yeah.
the Buzz Book.
I don't know if we can,
I
if you can find
know
that
that
out.
the PTO president is watching, so she'll she'll send me the information. Yeah, I'll ask at the PTO meeting, Karen, as well. This month, yeah.
The only thing I have is sort of in keeping with our commitment to equity. We talked about pay to play, and we know that those costs are, you know, pretty high, and so it makes sense to examine those and figure out how we can support. But you spoke about what Mr. Rideout talked about, but I think about like even field trips, like, you know, you're in like the $30, $40 range. That's, I mean, I remember being in 5th grade and seeing in the Phantom of the Opera, and that's how much it costs to go to Broadway in a bus. We're really just paying for buses, right, with that money. I don't know if we've thought about, or in the past we've done this, Renee, maybe you know, or if there's a way where if kids are like the free and reduced lunch status, if they can waive those fees, because I bet you per class there are not that many kids, and maybe those can be.
I think in one of our policies, one of the student activity accounts that have excess dollars are clearly earmarked for issues such as that, and we have been using as our basis the free and reduced
Right.
listing for those type of activities, and we've notified all our principals. Sometimes you're just above that line, and it's quite difficult. So on a item by item or a child by child basis, we would make a determination to also assist if they contact the principal directly, so it's not really coming through us.
So is there, like, so I know that, and I'm only seeing it from my child's side, right? If they send a permission slip home and I sign it and it says, give a check and make it out to this, like, what happens to those other kids that may be on a list, or how, does the teacher know to manage that differently, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they would know that, and then we're gonna try to change a lot of our, I guess, newsletters that go out that say, in case of XYZ, please contact the principal directly for financial hardship. Instead of, you know, you refer to the policy, no one's gonna go online and look
Yeah.
at the policy. So we're gonna try to make that an easier solution for moms and dads.
Because it was, in the policy, we changed it, it's not just the free, because there could be a passing, and when I say passing, it might be for a little while, economic situation that prohibits, you know, that payment. So,
I guess-
remember it came up in the diversity, you and I met with Dr.
Yes,
Whiteout?
yeah.
I guess the, I don't wanna use, the automatic is that free and
That's-
reduced listing.
yes.
Yes.
And then it could just so happen that they didn't get the bonus they anticipated, or they were laid off for 3 weeks during
Yeah.
a trip. And that would be direct communication from mom or dad to the principal, and we would take care of that also.
And if, like you said, you're gonna change the.
Right, we're looking to change a lot of it, just basically on everything that we go out, the same verbiage will be used for all the schools. So if you have a first grader and go through our district, it's the same verbiage that we'd use.
Great.
I just wonder if like that permission slip said, like,
Yeah.
whatever, I guess I give permission, check off and sign. If it also says, check off if your child qualifies for free and reduced lunch and
We
no
catch-
payment.
Well,
We usually
the
catch that on
schools know, the schools know.
Yeah, we have yes, we know.
But if a parent sends a check in anyway,
We'd probably return it.
do you? Okay, because that's what I would think as a parent. I wouldn't really quite know.
Yeah,
But
no,
okay.
We've had this discussion before. I remember it's difficult to tell people
Not to,
not to do it, but then again, if you see $30, well, I'm not gonna do it, then that kid's gonna miss out. And
Yeah.
I remember having a discussion of how do we get the principals to reach out to the families that they know could potentially qualify and make sure, hey, you know what? You can come for free. I don't know if you can put that on the form,
I mean, are we
but
perfect?
that's the difficult part.
We're pretty good. Is it possible that one may have slipped through and they paid $28 to go to
Yeah.
downtown Morristown to an event?
Yeah.
It's quite possible, but on the athletic end of it, we're very, very cognizant
Yeah.
of that, and we know we have a listing, and we check it quite often.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Matt.
The Finance Department committee met on February 1st, and the big budget item is on course and ready to go. Dan and his team has basically balanced the budget in the system, meaning that all of our expenses are not exceeding our revenues. And at this point, they're just still continuing to work with administration to fine tune it to different buckets as needed. So as of now, things are ready to go, and it's just a matter of fine tuning it based on his recommendations with the administration. And last time we spoke about Robin doing a wonderful job in getting us additional interest at PNC and working with a new New Jersey, it's not new, but it's a New Jersey arm where you can basically have a new bank account with them and we get a much better interest rate. And we're basically put just about over $2.5 million.
2.5, yep.
So we're immediately getting 4% on $2.5 million, where it was just used to be sitting in our PNC account getting almost virtually
We
nothing.
checked today, we wound up getting over 5,000 in interest so far.
And that
It has exceeded
That's
prior
like
years'
3 years
total
worth of
interest.
interest
Right,
that we've gotten.
exactly. So that program is moving forward and actually showing dividends already. Capital improvement projects, we have lots of things on our agenda or a few things on the agenda this time around. But this budget that they're still working on has approximately another $1 million worth of projects that are gonna be going on, of which the biggest one is the central fire alarm,
Yep,
like
yep.
3.25.
360.
So that hurts.
And
And all 3 schools need to have new ones eventually.
Yep, well, we did last
Oh, we did one
Millington,
already.
Millington, yep.
Oh, great. So,
And then the second floor the faculty room in Central, I know Facilities Committee has been up there often. That's getting total reno.
and then,
As a neighbor of Central Middle School, that has that alarm going off
Yeah,
at all hours of the day and night.
I got 3 calls this weekend.
Yeah, I am very excited for that.
Yes, yeah.
so Dan has done a great job in basically creating a capital reserve of $1 million, using it, replenish it the next year, using it and replenishing, and that's how you stay on top of these things, so you don't have a fire system that's 20 years old or God knows how old ever they are. So the board office is doing a great job on that. Transportation, we spoke about getting a driver. He has passed his test, and he's going to be starting,
Well,
did we
yeah,
get that yet, or we're still working on the
We had a
buses?
hiccup.
Oh,
His criminal,
Oh,
no,
no.
it's all good, it's all good. His criminal history background, it has to be like 3 months from when he was hired. He had
Oh, so
too much
now
time
it's been too
expired,
much
so
He
now
has
we
to do
gotta
it again.
archive him.
Oh,
It's
okay.
2 more weeks. He was gonna make his maiden voyage tomorrow.
Oh.
7th and 8th grade basketball game. Instead, we have to pay $500 as opposed to $100 to get our students to the basketball game tomorrow, and we have a game on Wednesday. Same thing, so we just pushed back 2 weeks.
so if, just a refresher, we're gonna be using buses from the high school.
Thank you to
Right,
Tim Stives and
absolutely.
Watchung.
And so
Hill
we
Street.
have that,
Thank you.
and we have the driver, and then eventually it's gonna be offered out, if they need a driver, and they have the buses, and he's free,
Yeah.
he'll be able to work and drive for them, so it's a great
Do we
back
pay
and
for the
forth.
bus?
No,
No, nice.
It's same tax bucket.
Yeah.
Tim's really, really good like that, and, if he needs our driver on occasion, go up there and help out the regional.
Okay.
and then in the same vein of transportation, we're gonna be joining Watchung Hills, can't read my notes because they're way too small.
It's Watchung Hills,
Yeah,
Warren, Watchung Borough, and
I'll let them talk
ourselves.
about it.
Yeah.
So basically, it's gonna be a district-wide transportation audit. So instead of just looking at our routes and seeing how we can tweak and fix routes, we're gonna look at all these other sending districts and say, you have a bus that's just sitting there from 9 or 8:30 to 9, we can use that bus over here.
That's great.
And our portion of that bill is gonna be $2,500. It's gonna be well worth it if we even get one recommendation. But the best part, Dan, is sworn that he's not gonna pay if we don't get any recommendations.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to tell us something. I mean,
So they have to tell us, so it's a win-win situation, that we're gonna get something good that's gonna help tweak and eventually save us some money.
And I think it's more important about us working together collectively
Yes.
as the sending districts to say, how can we do this better? Look
And
at our
this is-
special ed routes, look at our regular routes, and really look out of the box to transport students more efficiently.
So this
Is
is
it-
district-wide shared services.
Yeah.
Is Greenbrook in it, or no?
No,
Don't
no.
think- no.
It's
They seem to-
Watchung Hills, Watchung Borough, and Long Hill.
Right.
They
Is
were
this-
offered, but I guess they didn't want to pay.
Is this kind of a trickle down from the meeting that they had with Watchung Hills, looking at the start of the school day thing?
I think it could be a little trickle down, but the economics of it, if we had to all go out on our own,
Oh, I mean,
we would be paying, the triple tier rate for a single tier route. Because if they put that bus in motion, they're gonna want maximized revenue, and so it wouldn't be advantageous for any
oh,
of us. if
I'm
that's the
totally
case.
for this audit. I just was wondering if this was kind of a result of
Yeah.
that.
The impetus, Watchung Hills
Yes.
called us, so I'm
Yes.
assuming that happened and this happened.
Fantastic.
And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Matt? Okay. I was just thinking, looking at the district goals here, you know, we're like halfway through the year for the district goals. So I guess just thinking about, in terms of governance and whatnot, like where we are with those goals, and that the revenue generating goal, I never thought about Robin's work with finding better accounts and better interest, but that definitely falls under that bucket. So we appreciate that win in that category, Robin, because that's a little more difficult for us. But I guess I just encourage people to think about where you are in terms of your committees and in this process, because you have, you know, about 4 more months to really kind of show some deliverables on these. So just thinking about the timeline of that. Tom?
I met, for the technology committee, I met with Dr. Rovtar, Jack, Nate last week to just get a background of where the technology committee has been. And I also spoke with both Matt and Alex to set up schedules for this year, thank you. And I will be giving them dates for their perusal to see if we can set up quarterly meetings for technology. Quarterly meetings, you might say, why not every month? But things are going so well that they won't really be meaning the IT folks, they won't be needing our help all that much, and more in to step in as needed. And those dates will be going out tonight. Sorry, I did send an email, and of course I omitted the dates that I was suggesting. We'll meet quarterly on these dates, not there. Okay.
I said yes anyway.
You're a good man. And that's it for now. More to follow.
Okay. Any questions for Tom?
Where are
Okay.
those dates? What are the dates?
I haven't been home
In
again.
the email.
Okay, Alex.
Thank you. This will be my third year, I think, chairing the Buildings and Grounds Committee, so I'm very excited about the prospect of that. On February 3rd, so this past Friday, the Buildings and Grounds Committee met. We initiated our meeting by reviewing, kind of discussing what the committee's goals should be going forward, just to kind of refresh our view of it. We had 3 goals going in from last year, and I think 2 of them are largely accomplished. The other one's more of kind of like an ongoing one. So I invited the feedback from the committee members to see if we could kind of reinvigorate our focus. And to Kim's point, the first of the district goals was to continue its work on the creation of a 5-year cycle of facilities repair and upgrades, and I think we've kind of been very focused on that. So The substance of the meeting, Mark Brasina, who serves as our Director of Facilities, he provided an update on the 2022-23 capital projects. He indicated that the boilers passed state inspection, that the building checks are being done during severe weather events to ensure that the HVAC systems are operating correctly. He indicated that there were certain district-wide plumbing repairs that have been accomplished by people in-house, saving us money. So not only are you guys generating more revenue than you've done before, but we're also operationally seeing where we can find efficiencies as well. A new ice cream freezer was ordered or obtained, I think, for the Millington School. So that's a high priority, I'm sure, for every one of the students there. And a new circuit needed to be installed in order for that to operate correctly, I think. Tree pruning and removal, which is an ongoing thing, but also an important priority for safety. I believe the town permit has been approved and the Shade Tree Commission has been advised of its ongoing work. Locksmith repairs were being done, and I believe new swipe card entries have been created, one at each Gillette and Millington. Building relighting project is, as Mark described, the pebble in his shoe, which I thought was very illustrative.
They were here today.
Good, I'm glad to hear
Yes.
that.
We got the pedal out of one shoe.
Poor Mark, I think his kindness was stretched on that.
He's the sweetest man.
He was a little frustrated about the execution of certain things. It's not that we aren't saving money, it's not that the lighting new lighting fixtures haven't been installed, but there's some, let's call it punch list items that still need to be done by the vendor in order to complete the internal audit. Integrated pest management, there was no report or no activity on that front, but it's something that's always on our agenda. Playground, we've installed the swing mat pads, but there's still a little bit of work that remains on that. Baseball, softball, infields, we are happy to report we'll get some attention over the next few months. Thank you very much for those priorities, Mark and Dan. There was an installation, I have an incomplete notes on this. There were some, I think, mechanical installation and repairs of parts of Gillette. I kind of missed that. The 5-year capital improvement plan was discussed by the committee members. And it's important to note, as we've made comments on it before, that we have like a living list of those projects. Much of that is going to be dictated by our application to the state for ROD grants, which will see improvements to the HVAC and temperature control and building envelope projects. But it's also an important priority for our students and our staff to feel those improvements that are being made with our $1 million annual investments. And there is always a kind of focus on making sure that those improvements are being felt and seen in the school community. And as our new member Katie had pointed out, so I apologize for not listing all of the people who attended, but it's important for us to make improvements to ensure that the learning environment is also at its best. So ongoing development or ongoing focus will be made to the learning environment and making sure that we keep those as improved as we can. And to that end, I know that much of the project priorities are going to shift to the central school this year, including the fire alarm system. And those two items that are on the agenda, I think items 10 and 11,
Correct.
should be, I encourage you to vote on and in favor of. The other two quick items that came up, there's an insurance survey that's being done in the near future. So essentially, a representative for the insurance company is going to come and tour our facilities with Mark Brasina to just get a second set of eyes on the schools and to make sure that if they have any pointers or any questions related to their insurance coverage, that be identified during these tours. And there's some noise concern that was raised from the air handlers at Millington School that Mark was going to follow up on. Done, sorry. Thank you very much. Our next meeting, so we're going to continue to meet as we have in the past at 3 p.m. on Friday afternoons prior to the board meeting.
Any questions for Alex? I will say, we talked about like how great schools are looking and all of that, and you really appreciate it when your kids start to be on these travel teams and you go to these other schools and you're like, oh, it looks like garbage in here, you know? And like, I think it's also, it gives such a pride to the parents who are seeing that, because we're going to different schools and it shows how much work the district has put in. So it's really a nice thing to have.
Just to clarify about the what is it called?
Air handler.
The air handler. If you go to like a chorus concert or anything in Millington and you have to sit there and you have to hear this, you know, the people aren't able to enjoy it as much. But I also have a concern with some kids who are very sensory sensitive, who have to be in that room and hear that. That is extremely painful for a child who's sensory sensitive. So those are the couple reasons I raised the concern.
We spoke about it, and I told Mark.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up to him.
No, he brought it up at the meeting that,
Yeah.
that comment had been made and that he's looking into it. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. Melissa?
No report.
Okay. Katie?
The Community Relations Committee, I thank all the members of that committee who allowed me to postpone the meeting till tomorrow due to some personal reasons, and so we will be meeting tomorrow afternoon. And as for the Long Hill Education Foundation, the FORCE program is registering currently for the spring 2023. Registration closes on February 13th, and classes begin March 6th. And that's it.
Thank you. Any questions for Katie? No? Okay, thank you.
Oh, actually, in light of what was mentioned in regards to cost and pass-throughs, we do offer scholarships to students that cannot afford to participate, and that is checked through the district office. So people can reach out to, FORCE, or can reach out to their principals, and we are happy to accommodate anyone in need.
Thank you. Okay, all right, interim superintendent's report.
Well, your reports this evening are a perfect testament to how well you run the governance piece of operating as a board. Because one of the things that I am supposed to do at the February meeting is to give a status update on the district goals for the year, which you pretty much have touched on virtually all of that. So in the interest of time, I will not reiterate each of those points, but you, I think because your committees are so focused on goals and the strategic plan, you really are, have made tremendous, in some instances have already accomplished those goals for the year. And I did share the curriculum development process document, which kind of gives from the starting up at the state board level, trickling down to how curriculum is developed at the local level. If anyone has any questions about specifics, how that plays out, I'd be happy to talk about that at some point. I did want to comment on one of the agenda items this evening. We will be asking the board to accept the resignation of Sue Stone. She is one of our paraprofessionals at Millington School. She has been a long-term member of the staff and has been a fantastic member of the faculty there, providing excellent instructional support to the students and just a wonderful member of the instructional community there. So her loss will be a great loss for Millington. Unfortunately, we have her through the end of June, so we will not give her a big farewell and wish her well at this point. But since you are accepting her resignation, I did want to note the contributions that she's made to the district. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay. Dan?
Hey, good evening. This evening, we have our bill list for January and February, as well as our December financials. As discussed by Matt, we're entering into an agreement with Watchung Hills Regional to audit our existing transportation routes. We're getting an early start on our 23-24 capital outlay projects. We're approving our fees to our architects. We'd like to do that prior to the bid and lock that up because the price should not be. It appears that our architect is very, very lenient with their pricing, and they want us to pay off of a higher number, so we negotiate that beforehand. Our MEG renewal of workman's comp and general liability, this is our third renewal. That's on our agenda this evening. We've had the first in my career school nutrition audit on the milk program, which came back with no recommendations. Great job, Adele. And we have our semi-waiver, which is a Medicaid waiver that we've been doing here for eons. We have 23 students, approximately $10,000 in revenue. Unfortunately, the work involved, labor hours involved to get the $10,000 is probably $20,000 in labor hours. That's why we waive that benefit. The state allows you to waive up to 40 students, and we're at approximately 23 students, so we're way under that maximum. As for the budget, we are really just fine-tuning our budget. With the way our calendar is falling, our next meeting is March 13th. By the end of next week, we'll probably put in a Google Shared doc for the entire board. It's probably the best document we've done collectively in 10, 12 years. And it has all of the backup included in every line, so you're going to clearly see what is in every line. And the nice thing about it, similar to the 5-year facility plan, which whoever comes along after Mark, you now have a tangible document you can look at. As for the budget now, you have a tangible document that you could refer back to and then put in new numbers. And the same would hold with technology. I'm sure Mr. Grosskopf has seen our 5-year technology plan. So we have plans written in place, so whether it's A, B, or C in that position, someone can take that and move forward what we have vision collectively as a board, and they won't have to start from scratch. It's a great accomplishment to come in at a 2% increase when this year transportation went up 30%, and now we're getting a COLA adjustment that's going to be 6%. So 30 plus 6 is going to be a
Transportation, the 6%?
transportation. The indication of that the Northeast Corridor COLA adjustment is going to be close to 6%. Therefore, the transportation companies are allowed to go up to the maximum of that adjustment.
And on the agenda is that money for those private schools is like they're entitled to extra money because they get an adjustment mid-year. That
We're paying it mid-year.
Yeah,
but
we're paying,
This is
yeah.
for the prior school year.
Yes.
After they have their audit done and they see what the expenses were against what the tuition charge was.
Yes.
If there's any discrepancy,
You have
we need to pay
Right.
that.
what
It's
happens.
not a
is-
mid-year adjustment.
Right.
Okay.
Right, we have up to 2 years to pay that bill. So from the time we get the rebill, which is in essence, June 30th, we have up to 2 school years after that, because if you miss it this year, you can't budget for it next year. So it would have to be put in next year's budget as a tuition adjustment. And what that is school districts run their entire school year, and then their auditors come in and say, okay, your tuition should have been $50,000, you charge $45,000. So for every school district that came to your school, they each owe you $5,000 payable in 2 years. So that's what the adjustments are you're seeing on our agenda. It's a tuition adjustment for prior year. We've also had it's a good thing, our health benefits went up 7.5%, which is a really aggressive number. It pains me to say only 7.5, because 7.5 is significant on a $2 million bill. The state went up 15%, so we were half the state. So Brown & Brown has done a nice job. We've done nothing good or bad. Since we're in a group under 150, we're grouped with others, so it's really hard to extract out how we're performing when we're in a small group of other employees like that. So that's pretty difficult. Our employee contracts are up 2.85%. Insurance is up 5 to 7%. Special aid costs, including transportation, are up 7%. So to come in with a budget at 2%, that interest income of $90,000 helped us. The capital reserve of $1 million has helped us. Our before and after school program has helped us. We're bringing in hopefully another student for an autistic program. That's going to help us. So we're getting creative as per our goals to bring in other types of revenue. I want to thank Dr. Rovtar, our admin team, Rob, and everyone in the board office for, it's a team, it's a total team effort. And we'll be sending out our detailed prelim probably next Friday. You could review it. We're going to probably do, I would say, late April. We're going to do the podcast similar to last year with the budget. That was very, very effective, that they could review it at their own time. We wound up getting over 100 hits or 150 hits. Was really good for the community. Any questions they had, they could call in, so it really works out nicely. And it's just, as you had stated with the superintendent search, it's just, you guys are a great board to work with and work for, and I think that's out in our educational community, which are giving you great candidates, for a permanent position. So kudos to you as board members. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Karen.
Number one, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but he said something or other we put together over the past 12 years. 12 years, and that you said that makes me feel so good that you felt like saying that, putting 12 years and you were
Right.
part of it. I know, that was it. The food nutrition thing, I don't understand.
What happens is, we have a milk program in town. We don't have a lunch program, so we were selected to have a milk audit performed on the milk that we receive from the federal government. We have to fill out all the forms to make sure what we're asking for is what we're using, beginning inventory, ending inventory, to make sure all the accounting processes are in place. It came back that everything is in good standing, it's a good accounting practice, and they sent us a letter that's, I think, in the packet to show you that.
It doesn't happen every year. It's like you
No,
picked out at
correct.
random?
Yes, yep. And it's a small, for them to come here, for the amount of money we get, I'm surprised they chose here.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
I just one other thing. Capital outlay, as we discussed, we're doing a lot of great things next year. We're doing 2 fields. We're going to do Gillette and Millington during the summer. Our goal is to do Central this year, either before the season, or if we can't get it done before the season, then after the season's over. But by September 1st, all 3 fields will be professionally groomed, new material put down on every single infield, drained the proper way, pitched the correct way, bases in the correct way, bricks on the pitcher's mound and in the batter's box. It'll be, again, something like the gyms when you're inside. When they come to our fields and look at it outside, they'll say, wow, someone cares. And they should be, they'll be high school quality fields.
Great.
And we also mentioned about talking about working with the baseball and softball
Yes, yep,
people to make sure that they understand how to help keep it
right, groomed, yes.
manicured and
Yep,
managed so it
yep,
stays that way.
correct.
And that's gonna be a big part of it.
You are really, in general, I think they have done a better job at taking care of things than we have as a
Right.
district. I'm not to diss the district,
no,
but
no.
I
Well,
think
the
they are
conversation
pretty
was that,
conscientious about it.
they do take great care of their fields, and that I think, I obviously can't speak for the Long Hill softball and baseball organization, but I think that they would be very open to having conversations with our people on what our fields need, because, and it's
Oh,
great
yeah.
for everyone. Yeah, like they're a partnership in this, which is great.
I think the issue was,
Maybe not in putting in the expense,
when
but in
speaking with the
maintaining.
baseball group and softball group, our renovation is
Yeah.
total renovation. Their renovation was 22 to 2,500. Our renovation is 10,000 to 15,000. So with the difference in dollars, we're really looking to upgrade it, that you're going to see noticeable improvement on all 3 fields. As soon as you turn in, you'll say, wow, someone just put down a top quality infield material, clay bases, pitcher's mound, so if you hear it, I'm sure I'm gonna call the baseball group again to let them know, here's what we're doing, why we're doing it, and maybe as a partnership, you could help us out with a groomer that would actually, almost like a little, I guess, tricycle, I'm trying to simplify it, that has a grid on it that actually will take the material and really smooth it out and keep it level for the entire school year.
I don't mean to speak out of turn, and I'm gonna say this as cautiously as possible. But it's an important investment to make, not just for the beautification of the field, which it will, but it's also a safety issue as well. And that's one thing that I wanna highlight, is the fact that this kind of maintenance is needed in order to maintain a field that our students and any other children who are going to be playing on it can participate without
Yeah.
any,
Bad bounce, rocks.
yeah, without any sort of, and, these sports are kind of unforgiving in that way.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for making that investment as
Yep.
well.
Yeah. Great. Okay, any comments from the public on agenda items? Sorry. I have to answer this. Can you help me?
Sure. Seeing no comments,
Board minutes,
what,
minutes.
we have to approve the, okay, so we're gonna approve the minutes. Karen, can you move in minutes, please?
So moved.
Second,
Any conversation,
comments.
comments?
Comments, discussion,
Questions?
roll call.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case will abstain. Alrighty.
Okay, Matt, can you move in financials, please, numbers 2 through 14?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments?
Discussion, okay.
Discussion, is that the word?
Yes. Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case would abstain.
Okay, personnel, please. Alex, could you move in numbers 21 through 35?
Poor guy.
I skipped special services. I skipped a line. You know what really happened, Tom? I couldn't call on myself to approve financials, so I had to redo it. But you were right. Actually, I should have said special services. Tom, can you move in numbers 15 through 20?
It's okay. So moved.
She said no. Second.
Discussion.
Discuss it.
I got it right. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Abstain from 17, but yes to the rest.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Abstain from 17.
Yes on the rest.
Yes to that.
Ms.
Yes to the
Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Now, Alex, could you please move in personnel 21 to 35?
So moved.
Second, anyone?
Second.
Okay. Discussion?
I'd like to make a personal comment on number 28. Mrs. Stone has been very near and dear to my family. She was my son's paraprofessional for 2 years. My son Marcus refers to her as his soulmate. She is magical, she is wonderful, and she is the patience of a saint. And I wish her nothing but the best, and we will greatly miss her.
Okay, sorry about that. So we are on curriculum.
Personnel 21 to 35.
Personnel, number 21 through 35.
And we're at the roll call stage.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes, but I abstain from 31.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes. Okay, curriculum. Items number 36 through 37. Melissa, will you move those in?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes, thank you. Policy numbers 38 through...
Oh, wait. I had to recuse from 37. I apologize.
All right, staying 37. Got you.
Okay, policy items number 38 through 40. Katie, will you move those in?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes. Okay, other items numbers 41 through 48. Anne, will you move those in?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
I just have one question, and I maybe should have said something before. Item number 44, it says the date is 1/21/23, but the location is to be determined. I mean, it's already taken place, do we don't know the location?
I guess that wasn't provided to us when,
At the time of, right.
at the time the resolution came over. Yeah, I could certainly find that out.
Because the date is right, maybe the date is wrong.
No, I think some of these are retroactive. Obviously, it's the slate of dates for the entire
Competitions.
season, so they may not have known when the resolution came over, but we can certainly find that out.
Right, part of this is that a robotics coach gets paid also per competition, so we wanted to get the amount of competitions into the record,
Gotcha.
so we could clearly pay him, but we could find the location of 121.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Butler,
Yes.
Mr. DeJamos,
Yes.
Mr. DeGiorgio,
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf,
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan,
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist,
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo,
Yes.
Mrs. Case.
Yes. Can I say yes to the items I missed, or no, I
Sure,
should just
yes.
move on?
We could
Okay,
go,
I am a yes for everything.
For the record, Mrs. Case votes affirmative for finance 2 through 14, the minutes,
Mine.
and special services 15 through 20.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, in terms of A1 and A2, we will be going into executive session, discussing and coming back in public session, and voting on those items. Yes, okay. I did have a little, I just wanted to, cheer for the appointments and, thank people in terms of the resignations. I also, there was that nice donation from Donors Choose. It's exciting to see field trips. I mean, that was like what you lived for as a kid, so very exciting. And then obviously changing the board meeting from March 6th to March 13th. And then also nice for the collection of toiletries that Central School is doing. That was my alarm company, so I had to figure out if a child was robbing me or a dog was robbing me, and it's all fine. Any items for discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess, I don't know if this is old business.
business
I don't know if I'm doing this properly. Last year, last April was very hectic. We were just coming back, and it was very difficult for us to focus on Autism Awareness Month. So you may remember that last April I mentioned that. I'm going to mention it again and specifically ask that the curriculum committee really focus on this, as well as our administration. I feel that we haven't done the best job that we could in educating all students about autism, and it's not. And the reason I'm advocating for more of that is this is not just about the autistic community. It is about all the children who need to learn what autism is, because they will eventually be working for somebody with autism or with somebody with autism, especially if they go to SpaceX or Twitter. So where Elon Musk is. So, just wearing a color shirt doesn't do enough. They don't understand why they're wearing that color shirt. So I'm just asking that this April, whether it's, it might be too late for this, whether it's a speaker, that these children actually be educated on autism, not just told to wear a color.
We can talk about that with the administrative team and
Thank you.
put some things in place.
Okay. Anybody else?
Are we coming back after our adjournment?
We are only coming back to vote, though.
I think if you want, maybe if everyone's going to leave, we could shut the door and stay right here if you'd like, as opposed to.
Okay, we'll see. All right, okay. Any comments from the public? Okey dokey. Okay, Anne, will you move us into executive session?
Sure. The board will enter into private executive session to discuss harassment, intimidation, and bullying report and a confidential personnel matter. Action is anticipated following executive session.
Okay, second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Second.
Next, a second?
I second.
Okay.
Second before she.
All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? No, okay. All right, so,
Can I make a motion to accept others addendum A1 and A2?
yes. Second?
What?
Anybody?
I didn't hear.
Say it out loud.
Yeah, I didn't hear what
I
you
make
said.
a motion for A1 and A2.
So moved. Second.
I was mumbling.
Okay, roll call. Oh, questions?
Comments?
Roll call.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes to A1, abstain from A2. As per my ethics.
Mr. DeJamos?
Yes as to both.
Mr. DeGiorgio?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Ms. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rulo? Mrs. Case?
Plus, yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for your time. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
All
opposed?
right.
Ever.
Abstentions? No. Okay.